Welcome to the Queen's Lair, a lifestyle podcast. Get inspired by our latest tips and information about small business, entrepreneurship, natural hair, travel, food, and even relationships. Stay tuned for another great episode. I am your host, Renee Patrice. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast once again. I am going to start zeroing in on questions that people have been sending me in either DMs or they have sent me emails. I actually rather people email me because then I can keep track of it much better. I'm really not in my DMs like that at all. I try to keep all business to email. That way I can track it and I can see it on my phone, or I can see it on my tablet or my computer. So if people want to send me any messages, if you want to ask questions about stuff, or you would like me to cover a certain subject matter that has to do with anything entrepreneurship wise, my specialty is branding, events, and social media. So those are my target areas, but I've been an entrepreneur for many years. I've actually been an entrepreneur for 20 years, a full-time entrepreneur for the past 10 years. So I do have a wealth of knowledge, and I do speak at events. Of course, COVID has taken that down some, but I do get to share my thoughts about entrepreneurship and, all things business, small businesses, all of that. That's definitely my area. So if you have anything that you want to ask and you want to see me cover any type of topics that have to do with that, or just even general things, life stuff. I mean, I'm not 18 years old where I'm just kind of like getting into my adult life. I'm in my 40s and I definitely have a lot of life experience. And if people have questions, I would be glad to give my take on it, or at least direct you to something, someone, a book, a movie, a person, a therapist, or whatever that, can supersede, what I would say. But feel free to email me info at Onyx, ONYXQUEEN, that's Queen, Media, MEDIA.com. So info at onyxqueenmedia.com, and I will be sure to answer your email. Okay, so we're going to jump in. We are in season 16. This is episode 2, and I am actually taking this from an email that I got from a listener. It is about sponsored ads. So the person said in their email, they actually wanted to remain anonymous because they're kind of known, so I will not say their name, but they were asking my thoughts about sponsored ads and what I feel about sponsored ads in relationship to being an influencer. So, as you guys know, or if you don't know, if you're your first time tuning in, welcome. I work with a lot of influencers. I've even been kind of a micro influencer myself. I never really saw myself that way, but I actually do have an influencer account on Amazon that was given to me, and I was like, wow, so I was like, I guess I kind of made it a little bit somehow. I don't know, but if that's what they feel, okay, I'm not going to turn it down. But the majority of my clients, 90% of my clients are known people. They do television. They are in the public eye, public figures, or known in their circuit, tops in their particular circuit or genre. I guess that's the way to say it. I've definitely done a lot of work with celebrity type clients, one-off events and launch parties and things like that. So it is definitely something that you see all the time when it comes to wanting to get a public figure or a celebrity or, just even a local influencer who is big in their arena to endorse a product of some kind, whether it's food, whether it's clothing, whether it's a book, anything like that. So this individual asked me what I thought about sponsored ads because they are known and they get a lot of requests for them to basically endorse a product, be a brand ambassador for a product, or of course they have their rates where they would get paid to post about said products on their social media and so forth. So this is a loaded question because we deal with this all the time. Okay, I do contracts for people all the time, brand deals. This is my life every single day. So I would say this. I have no issue at all with sponsored ads or, where people are being compensated to speak about a product. I have no issue with that. Where the problem starts is right at the root, really. And that is, do you really believe in the product that you're talking about? Because what we see, and I'm not trying to attack anybody, but we all have seen this on YouTube or other video platforms similar to YouTube. We see a lot of people endorsing products that they have never used a day in their life. Or you will often see this on YouTube. You'll see folks that say, "Oh, this is my favorite such and such," right? My favorite lipstick, my favorite, sweater or clothing or whatever. And then 6 months later, they will say, "Oh, this is my absolute favorite, whatever." And then it is different than what you just said 6 months prior to that. Now, that starts to mess with your credibility. So I would say this, to combat a situation such as that, I think a smarter way to go, instead of doing the one-off videos that, "Oh, this is my absolute favorite such and such," because a lot of times brands, and I'm talking to the brands too, because I know y'all tune in as well. I'm talking to the brands right now. We're going to have a little session. I am not, and I will never encourage my clients to lie, to say that, "Oh, this is the best lipstick ever. This is the best XYZ, food ever," if it is not. Okay? I'm never, ever, and I've done brand deals for myself. I've actually endorsed products or whatever, but it was things that I asked them to send me so I can use over a period of time so that I can see what I feel about said product. And I have made the decision, this is for me personally, and I tell my clients they can, feel and do whatever they want to do. But what I have said for myself is that I am not going to, if I can't positively endorse said product, I won't even do anything with it, period. I won't do the video, I won't do the brand deal or whatever. Once I use that product and I get a feel for the product and, I need to see a difference. There was a hand cream, actually it was a skin cream for all over. But I was especially using it on my hands because I have light eczema, and it was phenomenal. Okay. I had already used this product. I got a sample of it in a swag bag not that long before they contacted me. Okay. And I had talked about it, I think in a story or something, and I tagged them in it. And that is when they contacted me and said, "Hey, we would love you to endorse the product. We'll send you some product. Let's talk, and it was great. It was a great, deal to do with them. amazing. But it was actually something that I really loved. Okay? So my advice is actually use that product. Ask them to send you some samples so that you can actually test it out and see if it's something that you would love to endorse wholeheartedly. Because if you just told me that, ABC product was your absolute favorite lipstick, and then a month later you make another video and now XYZ is absolutely your favorite lipstick, now I'm looking at you like, okay, you just do this just to make money. You don't really care. What I would say also is that influencers, whether you're micro influencers or the larger influencers with millions of followers, big celebrities, I don't care, from everything in between, you should really think about what you take money for. I'm all about people making their coins. I'm all about brokering deals and, all that sort of stuff. I have no problems with that because, hey, it's not like I don't get a percentage of it, but I gotta believe in it. My client has to believe in it. If you know that, I work with a lot of foodie clients and chefs and things. If you know that brand of flour that, this flour company is coming at you with is not one that you would ever use, why would you take money for something that is not even, what you would really use every day? I would say, you guys, I know you're hearing like these things going off, but let me just interject for a second. This always happens when I'm doing this recording. This is how you know it's real. I want you to know that little bing bing that you heard was somebody paying for a service. Okay? It is 3:21 a.m. September 18th. That was somebody paying for a service. Okay? I'm just letting you know. Passive income is amazing because I'm here doing my podcast. I'm recording, and that was PayPal going off. I'm just saying, but I'm going to talk about that in another podcast about passive income because that's something I get a lot of questions on too, but I'm just letting you know. So since it interrupted this, I'll just throw that in there. But anyway, getting back to the paid ads. Yeah, I have no problems people making their money. I have no issue with that at all. Sometimes you'll be on YouTube and you'll watch your favorite YouTubers and, it's a sponsored video or ad or whatever the case may be. And you will always see people in the comments. Oh, you just said that this was your favorite last week. Oh, you're just, you'll just take money for anything. Listen, I'm not against people making their money. What I'm saying is it's not being against you making the money, it's how you're making the money. Is it equitable? Is it, I don't even know what the word is. Is it the right thing to do to take money for something you've never used? No, it really isn't. And I know people do it every single day, but that down the road is going to mess with your integrity in this business. And when you are an influencer, which is basically, I don't even know why they use the word influencer, but that's what it is. Influencer really is a person who has a sphere of influence around them. Bloggers often will talk about products in their blogs, and they will sometimes cite and link to their favorite products, and it goes to a link, on Amazon that's an affiliate link where they make money off of that. I don't have any problems with that at all. I just want to know that you really use these products. If I come into the comments and ask you questions and say, hey, how did you really like this when you use this in your hair? Or how did you like this particular, lotion or deodorant or whatever the products that you're using? I want them to be able to answer truthfully, like, yo, I really love this stuff. This is something that I've been using for years. And now, since I have been tagging said company, now I've got this endorsement deal, which leads me to my next thing. If there are products that you love and you use, tag the companies. Tag the companies. I love Chobani yogurt, especially blueberry. So if anybody knows, Chobani blueberry yogurt is life. I tag them, and I love those yogurts because they leave a little room in the top, and I put little granola in there. They actually reposted my story, into their story. So I can't tell you enough. Tag your favorite people. If you are wearing a Zara shirt and ASOS shoes or whatever it is, I don't care if it's even high-end brand, Fendi, whatever it is, any of the brands that you may have that you're wearing, I don't care who they are. If you love them, tag them. Get in front of it, especially as an influencer. The everyday person can do it too. There's no reason why you can't do it as well. Because you never know if they will offer you an opportunity to be on their social media. You never know if they'll want to do like a little, video of you talking about the brand and how much you love it. Micro influencers, and when I say micro influencers, I mean the influencers that sometimes have 10,000 followers, 5,000 followers. That you don't have to have millions of followers to have to have influence. There are people that I know that have less than 20,000 followers or even 10,000 followers who are millionaires because they have such a great engaged audience that it just, no matter what they come up with, no matter what they come to the table with, people are ready to shop with them based on their reviews and, bringing the facts to the table about a particular product. They're like, oh, really? That's what that does? Oh, amazing. Or here are the books that I'm reading. That's something I haven't done in a long time. And I actually got a question about that probably like a month ago. And talking about this just reminded me of it. I usually do like a book rundown of all the books that I'm currently reading, books that I have read and sometimes reread. I reread a lot of books, especially things that have to do with business, entrepreneurship, branding, anything in those circles. I sometimes read them again. So yeah, always have integrity when you do this stuff. I have no problems with the sponsored ads, none at all. I'm all about people making their coin. But in the long run, you have to think of your credibility, and your credibility needs to be there, And like I said, I've endorsed several products over the years. I've gotten paid to, do ads on my social media here and there. Also on this podcast as well. There's a, sponsored audio throughout my podcast as well. But I truly believe in it. I switched to this platform from another platform that I was using for my podcast because they did not value their customers. They didn't value their podcasters and their, entrepreneurs and everything that were putting hours and hours of time in. They didn't value us at all. They were paying us, a percentage that was so low. It was just like, you don't edit these podcasts. You don't, do all the stuff to put the music in the background. And then not only that, I make a flyer for every single podcast that I do, every episode. And then those flyers get posted to social media. And then I have to do the marketing for it. These other people weren't doing any of that. And they were to the point, I remember that I had so many hours and I looked to see like what... It's laughable now. I can't even imagine. After they got done taking all their fees and everything, they left me with 63 cents. It's like, are you serious right now? 63 cents? I said, no, I got to find a new platform, a new way to do my podcast. And that's when I found Anchor. And if anybody knows, I sing the praises of Anchor all day long. I'm not only on Anchor, but my stuff is on Spotify. My stuff is on Apple Podcasts. My podcast made it in. I am on iHeartRadio. I'm not playing around. I don't mess around when it comes to business. Okay. So I always want to make sure that my integrity is intact. And that's with everything that has to do with my business life, with my personal life, everything, family, all of that. I always want to make sure of that. That's just who I am. It's who I've always been. Sometimes I don't get invited to all the shenanigans and parties and everything because, she may be too good for that. It's not about being too good. I don't want anybody to ever say that, well, Renee said, and Renee was there. No, that's never going to happen. Not as long as I'm with my sound mind that the good Lord gave me. That's just not a thing for me. So, no problem, but my integrity will stay intact. And if for some reason something goes left, I am that person that will pull people to the side and say, listen, I was wrong. I apologize. I'm not above, being spoken to and corrected or whatever. I'm here to learn. I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I want people in a room, whether it's business, personal, whatever, I want them to know more than me so that I can learn. I'm always learning, always a sponge. So integrity is a big thing to me. I always try to keep my clients on the straight and narrow with that. I want them to keep their integrity as well. And all the clients that I have right now, my roster is they're very particular about how they are branded and the way that they're seen in the public. And I can honestly say I don't have any clients right now that I work with that are like kind of wishy-washy at all. I had a few here and there in the beginning, some years ago, and they have since dropped off because after a while, when you're constantly working with positivity around you, it's hard for negative to find oxygen, in the midst of positivity. So when you're thinking about doing your ads, brands, please stop asking people to just say things just to get $1. That's for my brands. And my influencers, whether you're a micro influencer or whether you're a huge celebrity, think about your integrity. Think about those things before you sign on the dotted line for that brand deal. I know brand deals are lucrative. I have done brand deals in the thousands and thousands of dollars. Okay. And I know it's hard to turn money down, but not all money is good money. And then read your contracts. Get a lawyer to read those contracts and the fine print, because sometimes the brands are locking you into things that are going to test your integrity, your business. It will test sometimes it bars you. Some paperwork sometimes bars you from working with other competitors down the road. Sometimes they'll say there's a 2-year, 12 months or 24 months that you cannot work with XYZ competitor. Those are the things that you really need to pay attention to. Okay? So when it comes to sponsored ads, make sure you read all the fine print and make sure it is where you want to be integrity wise. Don't ever just do something for the dollar, because trust me, if the dollar is that easy, there's a whole lot underneath that's going on. If it comes to you that simple, read the fine print. Read the fine print, because there's probably something in there that's going to be, that you never know, may be long-term damage to your brand down the road. Okay? So that's all I got. This is season 16, episode 2, sponsored ads and your integrity. If you want to contact me, please feel free to email me info@onyxqueenmedia.com, and then find me on the web at Onyx Queen Media on all socials. I'll talk to you soon. Bye, you guys.